you're considering buying your first home in Reno, Nevada, here's a guide to help you out. Hey everyone, this is David Tully, and on this channel, I give you local real estate market insights, and I show you what it's like to live and play in the area. And in this video, I'm going to be going over a step-by-step guide to buying your first home in Reno, Nevada. I'm going to be touching on the mortgage application process, finding a realtor, and the home buying process. And if you enjoy this type of content, or if it helps you out, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're thinking about moving or relocating to the Reno area and you need some help, just reach out. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to know your financial situation. Have you been at your job for quite some time? Do you feel comfortable there, and are you making a comfortable wage to afford a mortgage payment? If the answer is yes, then I would consider buying a home. But if the answer is no, I would explore other options. Before purchasing your home, you want to know how much you need for a down payment and for closing costs. This really just depends on your loan type. For a conventional loan, you're looking at 3 to 5% down for a primary residence. You put less than 20% down with a conventional loan, you're going to be paying mortgage insurance as well. For an FHA loan, you're looking at about a minimum of 3.5% down for a down payment. You're also going to still have mortgage insurance if you put less than 20% down, or even if you put more than 20% down because it's an FHA loan. You typically have to wait a certain amount of years in order for the mortgage insurance on an FHA loan to fall off, or you need to refinance out of an FHA loan. If you're lucky enough to have a VA loan, thank you for your service. A VA loan is a great benefit if you're an active military or a military veteran. You can put 0% down, which is huge, and this loan does not have mortgage insurance, which is absolutely awesome. Once you've figured out what type of loan you're going to use, whether it's an FHA, VA, or a conventional loan, you're also going to want to factor closing costs into your budget. So whether your down payment amount is 3.5%, 3%, or even 5% down, you're going to typically want to add around 2 to 2.25% on top of that of the purchase price for closing costs. For example, if you're buying a $400,000 home, I would budget about $8,000 to $9,000 for closing costs on top of your down payment. The next thing you're going to want to do is get pre-approved with a lender. This is very important if you want to get serious about the home buying process. They're going to verify your employment, ask for some tax returns and pay stubs. They're also going to pull your credit, and once they've looked at your income, credit, they're also going to look at all your debt. Then they can figure out your debt to income ratio and let you know what you're pre-approved for. They're also going to tell you what loan type is typically best and how much down payment you can qualify for, which is very important. After getting pre-approved for a loan, you need to find a trusted real estate agent. And when I mean trusted, I mean somebody that you actually like and trust and want to work with. You don't know how many times I've heard people say, I closed on this home with this agent, but I didn't really like them. If you don't have a buyer's brokerage agreement with them, you don't have to work with them. So I highly recommend interviewing agents, looking at their track record, and even looking at their reviews online. Another question you should ask is maybe how many homes they've sold, and are they a part-time or a full-time agent? Currently, our market has been heating up over the last couple of months. And what if the part-time agent can't show you the home you're interested in for 2 or 3 days? The home might not be available in 2 or 3 days. So these are some questions I suggest asking when you're interviewing your agent. But like I said, liking and trusting your agent is very important in this process. Make sure you prioritize your needs and wants list and items that are non-negotiable. Maybe you absolutely need at least a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and maybe you have some bad knees, so you only want a single-story home. This is very important. Or maybe you want to be in a specific neighborhood because you want to be close to your parents or in-laws, or maybe you need to be in a specific school district. These are very important items. But there's just one thing I want you to keep in mind is that a lot of people get hung up on, and it is because your first home is typically not your dream home. It almost never is. So if you think of this as a stepping stone, it is a much better game plan. So like I said, don't stray from your non-negotiables like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-story home in Damani Ranch. I get it, but just keep in mind, you can live in this home for 3 to 7 years or for however long that you want, and you can either sell this and use the equity to buy your next home that is bigger and better, or you can rent out your current home that you've been living in and purchase another primary residence. And now you have a primary residence and an investment property. Now the home search begins. Easily my favorite part in the entire process. A couple of tips when buying your first home is to not get emotionally attached to the home until you are at least in contact contract. And better yet, do not get emotionally attached until you close, because there are several pieces to the puzzle and there might be some issues with the home or maybe even the appraisal, and you end up backing out of the deal and you have to start all over again. I would also recommend seeing at least 3 to 5 homes, because I typically don't like to have a client write an offer on the first home that they see, although I have helped multiple clients close on a home that they saw for the first time, but those typically aren't first-time home buyers. I really don't want you to have buyer's remorse when buying your first home. You also want to figure out if you prefer a resale home or a brand new construction home. We also need to know that there are typically more costs when buying a brand new construction home, like higher property taxes, you need to pay for your backyard landscaping, there's window coverings and appliances. So there are significantly higher costs when buying a brand new construction home. And like I said, you typically want to see at least 3 to 5 homes before making a big financial decision when buying this home. So you finally found the home that you love and you want to write an offer. Here are a couple things you need to think about. Has the home been sitting on the market for 2 to 4 weeks? If the answer is yes, you can probably negotiate a little bit better. If you're thinking about offering maybe $10,000 to $20,000 less than the list price, instead of offering $10,000 to $20,000 on the list price, offer $10,000 to $20,000 more, or maybe even list price and ask for a $5,000 to $15,000 credit for your closing costs. This will mean your monthly payment is a little higher, but you're going to have to come up with less upfront costs for your closing costs, which means more money in your pocket to do any minor home repairs or renovations to your home. I typically think that most buyers prefer having an extra $10,000 to $15,000 in their bank account. But if the home has only been on the market 1 to 3 days, you might need to consider offering full price or maybe even more money, depending on how many offers or activity there is on the home. This is where having an experienced agent comes into play, and it is very important. Also, like I said, our market has been pretty active over the last 2 to 3 months, and we're currently sitting on about 1.5 months of inventory. So we've seen a good amount of multiple offers in the last 2 to 3 months. So you might want to offer full price or maybe even $5,000 to $10,000 more, depending on how much you like the home and how many offers you've written. There's also several other ways to strengthen your offer by reducing the closing period timeline, lowering your contingency periods like loan contingencies or appraisal contingencies, or maybe even waiving your inspection contingencies. These are just some ways to strengthen your offer, but I personally don't recommend to any client to waive any of their contingencies, like the loan, appraisal, and especially the inspection contingencies. If you're going to waive any of these contingencies, please make sure you know what you're doing and you're a seasoned buyer and not a first-time home buyer. Congratulations, your offer was accepted. Now you're going to have to open escrow, and you're probably wondering, what the heck is escrow? The first thing you're going to want to do is, when you're writing your offer, you're going to want to put in an earnest money deposit, typically anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 depending on the price of the home. This money is used towards your closing cost at the end, and this is also refundable based on your loan contingencies and if you back out based on one of those timelines. Escrow is also a title company in Nevada, so they do a title search and make sure your property is free and clear of all liens when you close. They also sign all your paperwork and loan documents with you at closing and make sure you record properly with the county. The next step in the process is the inspection and the appraisal process. Your agent can typically recommend inspection people for you, but if you have somebody that you like, you can definitely use them. You're also going to want to pay for your appraisal with your lender, and they will order the appraisal. I always recommend getting at least a home inspection, but I typically recommend a home, a pest, and an HVAC inspection. An HVAC inspection is for your AC and furnace. If you're wondering about current prices for these items, a home inspection in the Reno area typically runs about $450. A pest inspection typically runs about $150 to $170. And for an HVAC inspection, it's anywhere from $150 to $250 depending on the company that you use. Another very common inspection is a radon inspection. I typically would recommend this as well, and ranges from about $200 to $400 depending on how many systems they put into the home. Another good one to consider is, if your home is older, to get a sewer line inspection. Sewer line repairs can be very expensive, so it's always good to know the condition of your home. Next is the appraisal. The appraisal is actually done by a completely separate person, and it is ordered by your lender, typically in the $500 to $700 range. And another thing to note is, if you're getting an FHA or a VA loan, these appraisers are going to be a little more strict than conventional appraisers. Because they are government-backed loans, they're going to look for items like peeling paint on the exterior, peeling or swelling siding, and your roof condition. If any of these are significant issues, they're going to call them out as repairs on the appraisal. And this can be a huge issue. They can hold up the entire process until they're fixed in order to process and fund the loan. So keep this in mind. The last two items are the final walkthrough and the signing. You made it through all the inspections, inspections, the appraisal and repairs, and now you're at the walkthrough. The final walkthrough just typically takes about 30 minutes, and you're gonna wanna go through the home just to make sure they didn't put any holes in the wall or leave any issues that you didn't know about. You wanna make sure it's in the same condition as when you first put the offer in. You're gonna wanna check the toilets, run the water, check the lights, and make sure everything is working as normal. Once you've confirmed all of this, you're gonna sign off on it, then you're gonna go to the title company and you're gonna sign your loan documents. After that, you're gonna wire your remaining funds for your down payment and your closing costs. Congratulations, now you just purchased your first home. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this guide on buying your first home in the Reno, Nevada area. And if you enjoyed this type of content, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any other questions, please leave them down in the comments below. If you're thinking about moving or relocating to the Reno area, or just buying your first home and you need some help, just reach out. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.